to this week's edition of Rapid Motion Africa. We're down in Cape Town for round 3 of the Pro Tour. This is the kind of action we're expecting from the VWChallengeSA Porsche Altic Club Challenge. A big thanks, as always, to Volkswagen for this amazing action from round 3 of the VWChallenSA. The Mother City, and absolutely perfect conditions for a race day at the Killarney racetrack. And VWChallengeSA is where we start our round 3 coverage of the Pro Tour. It's been an amazing season so far, and ups and downs for lots of drivers. But let's find out from our top contenders who's going to be at the front end of this field. Class A, it was George Economides ahead of Eddie Rodriguez and Lee Thompson making a welcome return. And in Class B, VWChallengeSA outdoing the current champion down in 4th.
George, we're down here in Cape Town, and well, a lot of recovery work for you and the team, hey, after the last race.
Definitely. We had an awesome qualifying yesterday. It's a small reward with what happened at Zwartkops. That incident really set us back. We had built a new car over 2 months. The car was incredible, and we'd won the first heat, and we were just taken out in the second.
Jake, so you're coming down to Cape Town. Up and down season so far, and I guess more of the same down here in the little wagon this time.
Yeah, Matt, it was like a 5-minute decision. Went to Graham, took the old car back there for a service and walked out there with a new car. First time we drove it was down here in Cape Town for the first practice. The reason for that, I think it's up for a new challenge. I got the opportunity to get this new car, but it's not the same as the old classic. I have to work on this car, and we need a lot of development to get it going.
You can't ask for a better man than the man in studio with me right now, Graham Nathan, to do that development. What an amazing start to this race, heading down towards turn number 1. George Economides going side by side with Eddie Rodriguez and the SCW machine. Can he hang on? No, he can't. George Economides is going to have it. Thompson up the inside.
A whole bunch of locking up of brakes. Clayton LaRue taking evasive action there to miss everything. But out in front, George Economides, he's in his old motor car because, as you heard, the other one got written off at Zwartkops, and it's doing a great job right now.
Well, before we get into the Class B's Class X, the local Cape Town boys, Patel and Tertius van Tonda, go side by side into West Bank corner. Oh man, this is so much fun. The Class X boys are here in full force. These are guys who run the GTI Challenge down in Cape Town, and they've been integrated into Volkswagen. Oh, and you can see already it's a little bit of bumping and barging in the X Class.
A bit. That looked like Smash City, but on board with Jake Jacobs here as we go to the start of Class P, and up the inside of Jake's is his old motor car. That's Piet Potgieter. Piet's just probably saying, have a look here, buddy. Recognize this one.
Yeah, remember this little blue car? Look how well it goes. A little bit of work to do. Onto the braking markers, and very hard braking there from George Economides. Rodriguez runs a little wide too, but he's going to sneak up the inside. He managed to just get on there. Oh, and Thompson and Economides. Hi, welcome back to racing, Lee Thompson.
Derek Smallberger sitting watching this action. More action in turn 1. That's Jan Prinsloo and Gavin Ross. Jan Prinsloo battling to fire it up again. Gavin spinning the wheels, and off he goes again.
Oh, Prinsloo's got a slight modification to that car. Big downforce wing now because the boot's wide open. He's going to have to get out or get one of the marshals to close the boot there. You can see the Class X boys go flying through. Van Tonda and Patel still at it. These guys are not hanging back at all. Ishmael Patel, remember, he is one of the top contenders in the GTI Challenge down here. Onto the braking markers into engine corner. We're going to see more frays between these boys. The 95 car around the outside, hanging on for dear life. That's Zaki Hendricks. Oh, they're coming together. 3, 4. Okay, break the front wheel. I'm going to crash into the wall now.
Van Tonda definitely out here. I don't know if Hendricks is going to be able to get going again. I'm sure he would. He didn't hit anything. There he goes, straight back onto the track in front of Class P. As they get there, there's just dust everywhere, dust, sand. But out in front of Class P, we've got Piet Versace. A welcome return to Piet Versace, and he's back in front.
That's an amazing drive there from Versace so far, but so far at the front end of Class A, it's 4 cars, nothing in it between them. Smallberger, and this is just going to be so good as they head down onto turn 1, West Bank corner. A bit further back there, Voldy Mikey's taking a bit of strain here in Cape Town on the braking markers. This is Derek Smallberger. This is where we see all the action coming out of West Bank corner. Round the outside, it is Lee Thompson pushing pressure and onto the back end of Economides.
Great job here by Derek Smallberger. Runs slightly wide to try and get the slingshot. He's decided he can't go up the inside. He's going to take a normal line. Economides defends on Lee Thompson. And Derek's just sitting there going, okay guys, as soon as you sort out who's going to be in front, I'm coming too.
He certainly is. He's got the pace, there's no doubt. The Sabertech car has been running really well in the previous events. Now into the braking markers, into Shell. They come out of Shell, heading up towards Malmesbury. Economides has got good drive, but he needs a little bit more of that slipstream effect from that front polo of Rodriguez. And that's what Lee Thompson's trying to do, but he's got a problem of his own. And that is the Sabertech polo right on his tail.
Lee Thompson drifting it through Malmesbury there. Look at Derek Smallberger, the evidence of rubbing on the back of his car. Looks a little bit like training wheels to me, Greg.
No, it's an illegal foil they're testing on these new polos because they found something here.
It works because look at the slipstream effect. He's just drafted straight past Lee Thompson. On the brakes now, is Lee going to be able to outdo him? He does. He manages to hang on to that third position. Lee stops the car just a bit better than Derek. On the way they go again.
Right, out of Cape Town corner onto the main straight, a little bit further back there. Voldy Mikey's coming under a bit of pressure there from Gossman. So the battle's continuing right through this field as they complete another lap. The Sabertech machine with a bit of battle scars at the back end. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got three cars, one polo and two golfs that he has to get through if he wants to take another victory.
Look out front though, we got the SCW motor car doing a great job. Eddie Rodriguez is just sitting there soaking up the pressure. George is trying as hard as he can. Derek carries the inside wheel all the way around turn one. Shows you how stiff those motor cars go. Oh, they're just slightly off the ground and the wheel stops.
It's awesome stuff to see these guys at full force. Oh, Thompson's made a mistake. He's run right out of engine, and thanks very much. The Sabertech car sneaks through. So Smallberger up into third place. Now has his sights firmly set on the blue and white Golf ahead of him, and of course Eddie Rodriguez. And he's also got that background information thinking, are we going to see something similar to what happened at SWAT Cops?
I hope not, because these guys crashed cars, and the less cars we got, the less action we got. But hard at it. George Economides hasn't let up for 1 minute. He used to race here many years ago. In fact, he won the GTI championship here. So he knows this racetrack intimately, and he's sitting there going, I'm going to put enough pressure on Eddie all the way around. But have a look at this. Wouter Roos has got a whole bunch of pressure on Piet Versace, Jakes Jacobs and Barry Groenewald. Jakes is a little bit out of position in this polo race, but it's because of the new motor car. He's learning it very quickly, and right up there into fourth place already.
Love the fact that Yannick van Rooyen has picked him up and given him a bit of Goldwagen sponsorship on the side of the car. Goldwagen Rudaport is now a new sponsor on the Nathan's Polo as they head out of Shell up towards Malmesbury, and in the background the old Polo getting it completely sideways.
Piet Potgieter there driving that old car as hard as he possibly can. This is the first time he's in that motor car. Also not used to it. Look at that, running a little bit wide with the car bouncing a bit. Maybe he should have a chat to the guy setting it up, but it's not handling quite as good as the one he's used to, but he's hard at it. Look at that. Going down the straight here, Jake Jacob shows Barry Groenewald that he wants through. Is Barry going to let him? Oh no! Barry slams the door and Jake just goes, I'm still here, buddy.
Yeah, you can't come through, but if the door closes, that's all you can do. Late braking from the last two of them as they go into Cape Town corner, and Warren Muir also sneaking through there. So Jake's, looks like they're both back on track, but now at the back end of Class P.
I think in Barry's motor car, all you can see is red mist. I'm sure Barry Groenewald is absolutely livid about that. He probably thought that he was defensive enough, but there was still a spot up the inside for Jakes to have a look.
Still a bit of laps to go for these boys at the front end of Class A, and Rodriguez is hanging on for dear life. Economides is forcing the pressure. The Sabertech car now lost a bumper. It's in third place. Lee Thompson has dropped slightly off the pace, so I'm not quite sure if he's maybe hanging back a little bit, preserving tyres for a last-ditch effort with about 2 laps to go. We're now on lap 5 as they go down the back straight away. These guys are giving everything they've got. Derek Smallberger looking like he might be one of the quicker cars out there now that he's lost that rear bumper. Not quite sure if it was hindering him at all, but he is absolutely hauling. Economides late on the brakes, but can't get up. Rodriguez is inside.
Derek is doing a great job here. He's actually driving away from Lee at the moment. These guys have managed to get this polo to really fly. Runs it really wide, still manages to keep the power down on the racetrack and go down the road as hard as he can.
Coming across the line to complete another lap, and in fact, coming across the line, Smallberger has now set a new lap record for the polos, and Class A's lap record has been outdone there by that orange Sabertech polo. A great drive from him. We're on board with Smallberger coming out of Westbank onto the back end of George Economides. Oh, he's got a problem. Running a little bit wide there. Oh, this looks bad. He's got out of shape. This is gonna hurt. Oh man, that's bad. A roly polo. Oh, that's a big one.
That's a big crash. That is a really big crash. It's taken my words away there. That's nasty. Let's wait to see whether or not anybody moves in that car. I'm sure he will be okay. Those cars are really well built.
As he comes out of Westbank, you see him just get it completely sideways. He locks up, goes onto the inside dirt, breaks the wheel completely off. That's what sends the car rolling, and then he goes end over end. Man, that was a big crash. Fortunately, he got out the car and a little shaken up, but as you said, Nate, well-built machinery just keeps that driver safe. Red flag though for the race, and that'll bring the race to a preliminary end, which means that we will go one lap back in the race to get the official results. There you can see the Sabertech car on the sideline, ambulance and the marshals in attendance as quickly as possible. Look at this from onboard. Into there. How was that, dude? That oak in the Golf didn't even move. That was amazing stuff. The car roly-poling right in front of him and eventually comes to a stop.
Standing on its nose and bang on its lid.
Eddie Rodriguez taking the victory ahead of George Economides, and Derek Smallberger eventually being given back third place even though he crashed out. Piet Pasaki, Wouter Rus and Piet Porgita, the top three in Class P.
Eddie, win number 2 for the 2010 season in the bag, and a clean one at that.
Yeah, I'm happy that it was clean. I got to the front nice and early. George made a mistake into turn 1. Seemed to outbrake himself a little bit and run deep. So yeah, otherwise once I got ahead, I think the aerodynamics of my car does favour the track a little bit. Yeah, nice, clean, easy race.
Lee, that was a pretty hairy race from your side. Looked like you were settling for a 4th place, and then a bit of carnage happening through turn number 1.
Yeah, what I could see was Derek put two wheels on the dirt coming out of turn 1, and then spun across and dug into the sea sand and rolled it onto the wall and back again. I hope he's okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what I saw.
Red flag came out, 2 laps remaining. That called it a race, and that gives you a 3rd place then.
I don't think it's going to be 3rd place. I think they reversed 1 lap back, and then it'll give me a 4th. But I knew from yesterday first session that the race result wasn't going to be there. The lap chart showed yesterday that I can do a good lap time, but it's only for the first 2 laps. Then it starts losing power.
Piet, in the 2010 season, new winner so far, and we're only at round 3. Good job.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a nice race. Good start with Wouter in the lead. I was third on the grid. Turn 1, I could sneak inside Dion, but I had to leave him some space. You know, it's a Class P, guys. We all race for the fun of it. Turn 2, unfortunately, he went sideways. I couldn't decide whether it's front, backside, and I eventually decided, well, it must be backside, and I was lucky to get around him. And then chased Wouter. Wouter made a boo-boo down in the last turn here at Cape Town turn, and that was my chance. And then I could slip through and start racing my own race, and that was it. Very eventful race in the back. I saw a big smash from Derek Smallberger. I hope he's okay.
Moving on to the Class Bs and Cs, and of course the Class Ys from the local GTI Challenge. Class B, it was Quinton Thompson and Adrian Dalton at the front end, and Stewie Mack and Charles Smallberger going at it in Class C.
Adrian, it looks like improvements every time you go out in the 2010 season. Swart Cops was good. Cape Town hopefully will be better. Great quali.
Yes, yeah, it was quite difficult. It's my first time here at Cape Town. Had a few issues with the car. Worked on it, got it right. Dying on it, got a bit more power. I have to thank my mechanic Wayne, put a lot of effort in. Yeah, it's gone better every session. Hopefully we'll do it in a race.
5-second board goes up, we're ready for racing, and it's Quinton Thompson and Dalton on the front. Oh, Yanni van Rooyen hogging down on the line, and Chad Bartram getting away. Just in the background, looks like the Y cars got away just as the marshals got off the track. I'm not quite sure if they understood how the 5-second rule worked.
They probably didn't, but Yanni van Rooyen has got a huge amount of work to do. He slots in right behind Peter Thompson. Peter, unfortunately, also rolling his motorcar in practice. Gavin Watson doing a superb job to get that motorcar back into the field. Peter is a championship contender. Have a look at that, the marshals scattering before the Class C cars go. Not quite sure how that worked, and off they went.
Class C and Class Y getting under battle right down into turn 1. West Bank corner, as they head up towards Engine now. We're going to be looking out for Nizam Essa, Chris Van Sale, and of course the lady who won earlier on this year when we were down here for Super Series, and that is Jacqueline's Bam.
Yeah, Stuart Mack on board as we go down up the inside. He's going to be able to block that line perfectly. Runs it slightly wide. Listen to the throttle control here. Picks it up, squeezes it on. Gets the apex sorted out. Looks in the mirror to see if he did enough. Has he been able to use the line, or must he block? Their car is slowing down all over the show in Class C. Not quite sure how that start went. Charles Smallberger just has eyes for Stewie Mack, and Giles Derrick goes up the inside of Badresh Lala. He's trying as hard as he possibly can to hang on to those front 3, because he knows that is the championship contenders, and he's going at it.
Back at the front end of Class B, Nate, just to pick up on the action, I think what happened was in Class C and Class Y, when the Y guys went, some of the Class C drivers went with them, and that's caused a bit of chaos. But right now, Thompson leads out, then it's Bartram. Oh, Dalton having a good one, and Peter Thompson there in 4th.
Peter Thompson still holding off Yanni van Rooyen, but I'm sure Yanni's going to make a play at any minute now and have a go at them. Quinton Thompson, though, puts his head down, drives as hard as he possibly can. Look at the squirming on the brakes from Bartram, and up the inside of Peter Thompson goes Yanni van Rooyen, takes huge amounts of space out of him on the brakes, and he's up into 4th.
Certainly great driving there from Yanni van Rooyen as they come up towards Engine corner one more time. His next man in his sights will be Adrian Dalton. Dalton goes on the inside looking for a way past on Bartram, can't find it just yet. The Coastal Kitchens man having it to work double time to keep Dalton at bay.
Right to the outside. And a crash, a loose wheel. That is Greg Gossman. Gossman in the City Golf Fox. He has lost the wheel. He's managing to drag it out of the way. The wheel hopefully is going to stay off the racetrack, but it's going to get real close. Stewie Mack still out in front though. Goes down into turn 1, runs it in nice and wide, and he's still trying to set the pace on Charles Smallberger. Smallberger sitting there learning all the time.
Remember, this is probably the first time that Smallberger's come down to Cape Town. So he's got a lot of work to learn from the Giulio Sabatini man out in front. So Stewie Mack leads out just a little bit further back there, trying to pick up on third place. That's Giles Darroch. He's in a ding-dong battle, of course, with Andre Needham. So those guys absolutely side by side. And then, of course, you've got Alvin Kutsia just off the back end of this field. So the Class C battle and Class B battle here, thick and fast down towards Cape Town corner.
Class B battle going down to Cape Town corner. Peter Thompson sitting in the middle there. We've got Chad Bartram up the inside and Philip Cruiser around the outside. Can Philip hang around the outside? It looks like he's going to be able to. Runs it really wide, positions himself perfectly for turn 1. Some great driving there, some great thinking driving. Peter Thompson, choose a crown driving behind it, but
I'd go with the black and orange one if it was me, but right now it could be anybody. Heading into West Bank corner one more time, completing another lap. These guys are really not giving any inch here. Up the inside comes Johnny van Rooyen. He pulls out alongside, then goes into the outside. He looked like he was going to go inside, but Adrian Dalton saw him coming.
and Peter Thompson too.
And look at that, Van Rooyen round the outside of turn 1 West Bank corner. Has Peter Thompson gone on the inside? Yes, he has. So Johnny Van Rooyen is going to outdo his compatriot Dalton into turn 2. Thompson's going to try and drive around the outside of turn 2.
Absolutely, having a look at that. This is experience. Thompson went outside. Oh, Yanni went outside. Thompson went inside. Yanni got through, and so did Peter. Peter is now relegated back because Philip has managed to outdo him again. But Adrian Dalton hasn't given up. He's looking outside, inside, whichever way he possibly can. He's going to, he locks the brakes up. He manages to stop it just behind Yanni van Rooyen. I think Yanni was also going, no, not here, bud.
Yeah, he certainly was. Now we go a little bit further back into Class C, and the battle continues between the Giulio Sabatini Golf of Stewie Mack. He's got the 35 car all over the side of him, and Charles Smallberger having a magnificent season. He really has got to grips with this young car.
Charles is doing a great job. Stewie is a guest driver in Elmer's old motor car, and all that Charles doing here is learning from the experience of the guys that are driving this motor car. These guys have probably done it numerous times. Oh, a little bit of revving there. That's Needham taking it to the grass, getting a bit of wheel spin up the inside there, as we heard, but he's trying to get to the front. Look at this, Peter Thompson's got the aerofoil sticking out, the aerodynamic aid of the City Golf Mark II Jumbo, which I don't think is going to help him a lot.
Yeah, no, that wing is definitely going to hinder him. It's not going to help him. It helps him under braking, though, for turn 1. But now as they get onto the power down the Jabez straight up towards engine, he is going to be hindered here. Can he be able to get onto the back end of Adrian Dalton? It looks like he's under pressure once again from Philip Cruiser. Cruiser up the inside. And thanks for coming. That's easily done.
Have a look at the respect here between these guys. There's no bumping and bashing. The guy goes up the inside, you leave him space. If he goes around the outside, you do the same thing. Peter up the inside. Philip was up the inside a moment ago. Have a look at this. Will Chad go up the inside of Peter Thompson? He sticks a car there. Peter sees him. Chad decides to back out of it and dive right into the boot.
I know, he's sitting on the back seat, I think. That's how close it was as they came out of there. This is awesome stuff. And Chad Bartram, the Coastal Kitchens machine, all over the back of Thompson's Racing Golf Mark II, heading onto the back straight. This is where that boot is going to definitely hinder him. And I think Chad Bartram might get him on the brakes into Cape Town.
Have a look at this though, Greg. Right down to the back of the field. There's still 2 cars racing as hard as they can. Quinton Thompson is about to lap these guys, but they are having a battle royal going down into turn 1.
The fact that Quinton Thompson's got nearly 7 seconds ahead of his closest rival, and right now that is Johnny van Rooyen. So Johnny van Rooyen starting to close down on him, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to catch Quinton Thompson. This battle continues to rage as Thompson closes up on the back markers. This is what Goldwagen Challenge is all about. You've got top competitors coming into the back markers. There comes Johnny van Rooyen. That's second on the road. Dalton is on his tail. There it is, a superb battle just behind. Cruiser taking on Chad Bartram and Peter Thompson.
Peter Thompson's probably spitting nails. He's trying as hard as he can. Quinton Thompson, yeah, though, coming through the back markers. That is Lala getting out of the way nicely for Quinton. Obviously knows that he's got no way of hanging on to Quinton. Gets out of the way. Quinton goes up the inside. Blue flags waving everywhere. Have a look at this race, though. We've still got Charles Smallberger trying as hard as he possibly can to get hold of Stewie Mack. Stuart has got a little bit of a gap. Charles runs it slightly wide into the dirty part of the racetrack, gets it all sideways, buries the throttle, and down the road he goes again.
He gets away from Paul Dalton, one of our Class Y competitors, part of the GTI Challenge from Cape Town, joining Goldwagen Challenge, as you mentioned a bit earlier, but it is Smallberger who's now lost out a little bit of ground. He was stuck behind Paul Dalton for a little bit too long, and he's now lost the ground to the man he wanted to try and overtake.
Charles Smallberger and Stewie Mack have impressed the sponsors so much that ESPA, a new sponsor for Class C, has come on board to try and get Class C going as the entry-level formula. But the winner there for the day is Quinton Thompson in the first heat of this race.
7 seconds ahead of Yanni van Rooyen. Adrian Dalton will be in third place, but the battle continues right down to the line. Are we going to see? Yes, we are. Look at that. It is so close. The 66 car. That is Jacqueline's Bam in amongst the Class C competitors as they cross the line. And it was Stewie Mack who got the victory ahead of Charles Smallberger. Charles Darragh in third. Race 2 of Class A and P about to get underway. The 5-second board goes up. This time George Economides means business. He wants to try and take this victory away and not allow Rodriguez to make it 2 out of 2.
Rodriguez has got another second guest plan for him though. He wants it. He's going to have a go at it. But a great job here from George Economides. Up the inside is Lee Thompson again. And Valdi Mankis and Gavin Ross scrapping madly further back in that race.
Looking awesome as they come out of turn number 1, West Bank corner. Just in the background, we can see guys starting to get out of shape there. Looks like that might have been Clayton LaRue. Then we get the Class X and Y and Z and P and everybody. They're all here. Class X gets underway. They've got ahead.
That's
the
Class
P's,
P, Greg.
and the P's down into turn 1. Voterus looking up the inside. What a start there from P45.
Dion Holiday going right around the outside of Voterus. If he jumped the start, pulled his finger out, or just got a great start. Voterus probably thinking, where'd you come from? You were a grid slot behind. Jake Jacobs, the camera car there. And up the inside of Voterus going into 2 goes Holiday. Dion Holiday, this is a relatively newcomer to Class P, is doing a great job. He's out in front.
One of the champions in third place, trying to close down on the championship contenders so far from this particular outing. Onto the braking markers, Economides goes very defensive, keeps both of them at bay. The SCW machine of Rodriguez in second. BizHub is our champion in this category, that is Lee Thompson. And unfortunately, Lee has been found wanting here in Cape Town. He came back on a welcome return and has not done better than third.
Look at the scrap though in 4th and 5th position. As we go on board with Lee Thompson, you can see he's losing out a little bit in the straight line. Can Lee do all the work on the brakes? He has to. He doesn't have an option. He does not want those guys to get away. There it is. He's back on the brakes. He sticks it right up the inside. Valdi Mankis goes up the inside of Gavin Ross. But can he make it? Oh no! There goes Valdi. Gavin sideways. Valdi straight in the wall.
Oh, that's going to hurt. Valdi Mankis, Albatross Motors parked in the sideline of West Bank on the outside of West Bank corner. Here comes Lee Thompson, late braking into engine off the Joubert Straight.
Lee Thompson doing a superb job on the brake. He's forcing Eddie Rodriguez wide. Eddie just buries the throttle. As these 2 guys scrap though, they allowing George Economides to get away. Look at this, Voterus hangs it around the outside, forces Dion Hollywood to go, Holiday to go a little bit over the grass. Jake Jacobs takes the slingshot, he's going to go up the inside. That's called experience. And he goes up the inside of him into 2. Sitting behind him though is Piet Versaghi. Piet is sitting there going, okay, I'm watching this game for a while. Hollywood runs really wide again. And Piet goes up the inside. Man, can he make it stick going down into Shell? He's got the right position on the racetrack. Holiday sitting on the outside. He was leading a lap ago, and due to just track position and car position and a little bit of inexperience of this racetrack, he's down in 4th. Voterus has his head down and he's trying as hard as he can to get away.
Speaking of head down, Lee Thompson got his head down behind Eddie Rodriguez in the Polo. Golf 1 taking on Polo as they go down the straight to complete another lap. George Economides, as you said earlier, Nate, he's pulled a small gap. Then we've got a big gap to 4th place on the road. And right now it's Gossman. Behind Gossman, a really charged up Jan Gerber. And Jan Gerber is pushing hard. He wants to get higher up on this podium.
He's trying as hard as he can. He's back in the racing after a long layoff in Class A. But let's go and have a look back in Class B. Voterus, he's got his head down going. Jake's holding him up just a little bit. Just give me a little bit of breather. Jakes wants after Voter though. Jakes goes to the outside. Piet goes to the inside. Look at Jake Jacob. A true racer. He doesn't defend nearly as hard as what most of the guys do. I.e. maybe even George Economides. But having a look there, he tries around the outside. Piet Versaghi goes up the inside. Jake's still learning about this motor car that he's just acquired. And he is going after Piet now.
He certainly is. Speaking of going after people, Lee Thompson sneaking through into 2nd place. Halfway mark of this race and looking so good as they come out of Shell up towards Malmesbury. Rodriguez comes straight back at him, but has to tuck in line astern as they head into Malmesbury. In a little Golf and Polo in Class A, you're probably looking at about 130 k's an hour before you gear down one more time onto the back straight. And now it's all about Slipstream City.
Votarista has got Piet Versaki right behind him. These guys are business partners. So if ever it's a case of, remember that deal that you made go sour? Take this, brother, I'm coming at you.
Yes, certainly do. And of course, they're in the mining business, so you don't want to get involved with those two boys. They're going to be scrapping at it with machinery and all sorts, not only on the road here, but also when they get back into the office.
Absolutely. Have a look at this. Votarist getting to grips with his new motor car. Time Mining and Performance Laboratory sponsor those two motor cars. They are really, really well turned out.
Even if you say so yourself, Nathan's Motorsport doing prep on both those cars.
Correct.
So well, they're definitely working. There's no doubt about it. The guys in the background are going, hey, hold on a second. Maybe I should get Nathan's to do my car. He does your car, Jakes. Get a move on.
Jakes is trying as hard as he can. He's learning about this motor car. It's pulling his hair out at the moment. He doesn't understand why it simply doesn't do what his old car used to do. Jakesy, give me a minute, I'll sort it out for you, buddy.
There's no doubt about that, but right on his tail now. Hollywood Holiday is pushing him for that third place. Back to the front though. Can Lee Thompson get ahead with 1.5 laps to go? Coming on now. Oh, little tap. Oh, Thompson's messed it up for himself. He tried to go very, very hard into engine corner, tapped George Economides and forced himself wide.
At the risk of annoying Thompson's wife, Lee ran right out of talent there, and he just slammed straight into the side of George Economides.
Yeah, Economides now has his hands full of the SEW machine of Rodriguez. Rodriguez wants to make it 2 out of 2. A double victory here will move him up nicely in the championship and keep him in contention for that number 1 plate. But George Economides has got other things on his mind and saying, no ways, bud. I'm not giving away a double here. This used to be my home track. I'm going to show you the way home.
He's going to ride defensive all the way around the racetrack. Yeah, we've got Etienne Prince. We've also got Clayton LaRue. These are brand newcomers to Class A. Clayton used to run in Class B last year. He upgraded his motor car, driving the same car. And Etienne used to be in production class. So they're studying a lot about these Class A motor cars and having a great time at the same time.
Yeah, they certainly are. It's a superb battle. That is for 6th and 7th place on the road. This is for 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Lee Thompson has recovered very nicely, although with only a couple of laps to go, I don't know if he's got enough time to close down and maybe challenge for the win.
I'm sure Lee's going to break later than he ever has. He's going to try harder than he possibly can, but he wants to get back at these guys. Although George and Eddie are slowing each other down ever so slightly because George is riding defensive, he's riding wide, and Eddie is trying everywhere to go past. George knows the way around here, and he's going to use it to his advantage. Have a look at that. He forces Eddie to the outside by running slightly in the middle of the racetrack, brakes towards the inside, and he's still out front.
Slams the apex absolutely perfect through engine. Now comes on the power, heading down through the little kink, but further up the field, in fact further back in the field, you can see Jakes is having some problems there with Dion Holiday. Coming side by side out of Cape Town corner. Who's going to have the drive? Is it going to be the new Polo or the old Polo Classic?
I reckon that Jakes got the slingshot there. Dion dives in behind him. Dion's car probably not quite as strong as Jakes' is at the moment, but I'm sure you'll sort that out before the next race. But have a look at that. The proverbial blanket right there, and further back we've got Barry Groenewald, Pit Potgieter, Warren Muir. Warren has never raced a racing car before in anger. This is his first time and he's doing a great job. He goes up the inside, locks up the wheels. Pitt takes evasive action. Pitt has raced bikes for many, many, many years, so he knows when he hears tyres, he has a look to see where they're coming from, that noise.
Right at the front end of the field once again, the battle for 1st, 2nd and 3rd has not eased up, and all of a sudden Thompson is back at it. So you mentioned the fact that he'd be doing late braking, getting on the power early. He's done just that. Has he done enough though? It doesn't look like it as they come across the line to complete the second race of Goldwagen Challenge. Economides is going to take it. Rodriguez comes through in 2nd, and Lee Thompson, a great drive there in 3rd place and a welcome return. Jean Gerber eventually finished up in 4th place, and Gavin Ross in 5th. But in Class P, Piet Versaki and Votarus went down to the wire. Who was going to take it? Will it be the big man or the smaller of the two? Well, I don't know how much smaller you get than them. The two Time Mining boys are going 1 and 2 across the road, and Jake Jacobs is going to hang on just enough to keep Dion Holiday at bay. So across the line it was Piet Versaki, Votarus, and Jake Jacobs comes through in 3rd place in his first time out in the new Nathan's Goldwagen Polo. There's confirmation of the results. Economides, Rodriguez and Thompson, your top 3. In Class P, Versaki, Roos, Jacobs, Dion Holiday and Barry Groenewald.
Oh, George, race 2, you've got to be pumped with that. Nice and clean from the front to the flag.
Yeah, the car performed superbly. I was just a driver, and yeah, it was getting quite hectic out there, and I had to defend a bit as usual, but the car was amazing this heat.
Race 2 of Class B and C, and man, Brian Hoskins is not off the line, and already Yannick van Rooyen is gone. Oh, that's a jump start. Oh, I don't know if Dalton's going to be penalised as well, but Yannick van Rooyen definitely got off the line with the greatest start in the world.
I think Brian Hoskins ran when he saw Yanni move. That wasn't a 5-second board, that was go for Yanni van Rooyen. Out in front, Quinton Thompson lights the wheels up. He thought he was fast asleep before the lights were out. He lit the wheel up, but have a look at that. We've got Van Rooyen, Dalton, then we've got Chad Bartram and behind him Quinton Thompson. Class C start.
Getting away nicely as they get on towards West Bank corner. We go on board Giulio Sabatini, Volkswagen Golf 1 of Stewie Mack on his inside will be the number 87 machine. And look at Andre Needham getting a much better start, but on his inside, can you believe that? That's Charles Smallberger.
Yeah, that was 3 into 1, and they all made it through there. Stuart Mack drives to the outside now because Charles Smallberger is going up the inside into turn 2. Can he make it stick? Whoa, really close. Some great driving there from Charlie.
Oh, not so good driving from the back there of Charles Darroch. He runs a little bit wide, and the 81 Fox goes sneaking through. Greg Gossman having a much better start to this race. Remember, he lost his wheel in the first lap of the first one. So onto the braking markers into Cape Town corner, on board with Bartram. Coastal Kitchens machine looking at Quinton Thompson. He's already made up 1 position. He needs to make up another 2 to regain his pole that he had at the start.
Quinton Thompson doing a great job here. He knows that he's got to do 1 car a lap. He's up into 3rd position. He's right in behind Dalton. Great camera work there from Chad Bartram's motorcar. Further back in the field though, we've still got Peter Thompson. He's fighting for the championship overall. But let's have a look back down to Class C. We've got Charles Smallberger going up the inside now of Andre Needham. Stewie Mack right behind him. Can he get through as well, or is Andre going to manage to hold him off? Andre goes really wide. Stuart goes low. Andre manages to get the slingshot though. Charles to the front. Charles leads this race in Cape Town right now.
Yeah, it's not over this race in Cape Town. There's no doubt as they head across the line and complete another lap. Smallberger under pressure. Big time. Needham sneaks up the inside. He'll have the inside line going into West Bank corner. Stewie Mack looking at this from behind going, okay, Yerk, scrap it out. When you're done, I'm coming through.
He goes through a long way, does Needham. Needham goes great on the brake. Charles probably thinking, geez, where did he find that speed? Charlie, it's called slipstreaming, buddy. You guys are all in 1600s.
That's correct as they go up towards Engine along the Joubert Straight. Stewie Mack closes down onto Charles Smallberger. And he sneaks up the inside, and it's 1 for 1. What you can do, I can do better.
I can understand now why Ashpa, the new sponsor in Class C, have come on board. Look at this racing. You don't know who's going to lead the next lap in this formula.
The next lap? What about the next corner, dude? That's how close it gets in the 1600s as they come out of Shell. Now it is Mack all over the back of Smallberger. Smallberger's leading at the moment, but how much longer can he keep Andre Needham at bay? Back to the front end. Look at Quinton Thompson. He's leapfrogged and got up into 2nd place. Adrian Dalton had no answer. Quinton Thompson, remember, running from Thompson's Motors on genuine Volkswagen spares as opposed to the gold Volkswagen spares that come from the leading car.
100%. Yanni van Rooyen though is going to try and prove a point. Quinton Thompson goes up the inside. Yanni has the experience. He's going to probably try and hang it around the outside of turn 1 to position himself correctly for turn 2. But Quinton knows this game. He sticks it up the inside properly enough to get to the front.
Yeah, it's good driving though from both of those guys. Unfortunately, Yanni van Rooyen, I think he's going to be docked at 30 seconds for a jump start, but he's still going to maintain his lead and give Goldwagen Rudaport all the coverage they can get by staying in 2nd for the TV coverage.
Locking up the brakes, Quinton Thompson under huge pressure from Yanni. Yanni hasn't backed off for 1 second. Yanni knows he's got this penalty going. He needs to try and get ahead and get away so that he can finish up on the point standings.
Once again back on board in the office with Giulio Sabatini's Auto Volkswagen Golf of Stewie Mack. On the inside it's Needham. Needham sneaks through and Charles Smallberger leaves enough room there for Stewie Mack to possibly sneak through. Oh, Mack just couldn't get the drive out there. You can see how hard he's working on that wheel. He gets on the drive now, and there goes Smallberger back onto the inside.
I wonder if these guys know how close they actually get when they sit in these motorcars. I'm not sure they even look at the front. Charles Smallberger getting great drive out of turn 1. He goes out the inside of Needham. Needham runs it slightly wide. Charles tucks in behind him. Stewie's sitting going, I can't believe this. I'm a guest driver. This is awesome racing.
Yeah, he wants to come back and be involved in this, there's no doubt. I'm sure that if he keeps up this kind of pace, someone is going to help him out as they come out of Shell up towards Malmesbury. Oh, Needham runs wide. Oh, it's polo cross time. No, that's a golf cross. No, that's just a golf going on the dirt.
And in sympathy, Giles Derrick does the same thing. Was there something perhaps wrong with that racetrack corner? I don't think so, because the 2 cars that are now leading 1st and 2nd, they got through. I think it was just a case of Needham under huge pressure, overdid it and ran wide. Have a look at the Slipstream City. Stewie Mack dives to the inside. Charles stays to the outside. Who can do it on the brakes? I'm sure it's going to be Stuart Mack this time. Charlie goes to the outside. Can he hang around the outside or will he tuck it in? He goes inside, following. No? Look at that. He goes right around the outside. He hasn't let up for 1 second. In fact, He gets the drive. He slots back into first position.
He's been talking to Kusi Vaz, dude. He's been talking to Kusi Vaz, who uses that outside line every single time in the engine polos, and he's got it absolutely dialed in. And I think him and Smallberger had a chat and said, if you keep it buried down there, you can make it. And he did.
He did. Just that. Up the inside. This is Yanni van Rooyen. Yanni sticks it up the inside by a long way. Quinton Thompson has to go down to the bottom to try and get the slingshot. But Yanni leads again. Quinton Dalton is up behind him now. He's probably sitting there going, come on, slow it down just a bit so that I can get into this game, because it is an intense game here. It is genuine versus Goldwagen Spears aftermarket stuff, and right now there's no difference between them.
No, there's absolutely nothing. As you can see, chopping and changing every single time they come into a corner. Yanni van Rooyen goes very late on the brakes. Thompson comes alongside him as they went onto the braking markers, then has to tuck in behind him, coming out of Westbank onto the Jabez straight. We go back to the battle for Class C, and Stuart Mack and Smallberger in the fray and in amongst some of the usual contenders. 66 involved in there. That's Jackalese Bam once again getting involved, and this is one of our Y competitors from the GTR Challenge here in Cape Town.
Charles Smallberger doing a great job there. He boxed Stuart Mack in properly. He got right next to car number 66, and he just made sure that Stu had nowhere to go. But the problem is that Andre Needham, who fell off a minute ago, has made a little bit of break, and he's gone.
Certainly has. Back on board with Bartram as they come into engine corner. Ahead of him is Peter Thompson and Philip Cruiser. Those two have gone at it head to head, wing mirror to wing mirror in both heats today.
Have a look at that. There's absolutely no touching, no rubbing. This is pure racing. These guys don't want to damage their cars any more than they already have, Uncle Peter?
Yeah,
by rolling it.
Exactly.
But he doesn't want to take it home in scrap form. He just wants to try and get as many points as he possibly can. But have a look at it. Because they're scrapping each other, Chad can get right back into this game.
Certainly can. The Coastal Kitchens car closes right onto the back of Peter Thompson, who is all over the back of Philip Cruiser. This is back to Class C battle. Look at that, Andre Needham still ahead. Man, it's close between these guys. Stewie Mack and Charles Smallberger right on these tail as they go through Malmesbury now. This is probably about 120 k's an hour, just lifting off slightly back on the accelerator and down the back straight. This is where the slipstream is going to come into effect, and Smallberger's wanting to use it on Needham, but no, it's all about Stewie Mack. He's going to get the best drive here.
If Stewie Mack dives in behind Charles Smallberger and stays there, the two of them will draft it down. He's trying to make it 3-1 though, but I think it's going to be discretion is the better part of valor right at the bottom. He's going to sit there and watch. Andre Needham goes around the outside. Charles stays down, Andre stays high, and Stewie Mack is going to have to choose third position again.
Well, let's see if we can get the drive as they come out, heading down towards the line to complete another lap. Just in the background, they're picking up on fourth place. That's Giles Darragh. So the two Silver Dream races still involved, but the yellow peril at the front end is all the Goldwagen and Thompson car. Those two guys have gone head to head right from the word go. And although Yanni van Rooyen is sitting with a 30-second penalty, he's not giving up. He wants to make a win on the day, even though he's going to get that 30-second penalty thrown at him.
Yeah, the 30-second penalty, you can always fight in court, but the finish on the racetrack, you can't fight about that. The guy who gets to the line first, he's the guy that wins. And Quinton Thompson boxed in there behind one of the back markers, going past there. He dives in behind Yanni van Rooyen, trying to get the slipstream. The two Mark 1s are going to go at it. He sticks the car up the inside. This is the right side of the racetrack. If he can get up next to him, he's got Cape Town corner sorted.
I think he might have gone a little bit early, or maybe I'm going to eat my words here. In fact, I am going to eat my words. He went absolutely perfectly onto the braking markers, into Cape Town corner. Yanni's got no answer, or even locking the brakes slightly. The two of them absolutely side by side out of Cape Town, but Thompson has got it.
I think this is the drag to the line, Greg. I think this is the last lap. Quinton Thompson did it at exactly the right time. He managed to dive out, slipstream Yanni when he needed to, and get to the line.
So across the line it's going to be Quinton Thompson and Yanni van Rooyen, but of course a 30-second penalty is going to be slapped onto the wrist of Yanni van Rooyen in the Goldwagen Rudaport Golf, and he will drop out of the top 10, unfortunately. Going back to Class C, Smallberger on the inside. Needham hasn't got an answer. Has Charlie done the same thing as what Quinton Thompson's just done? Yes, he has. Can he hang on to the line? It's a drag race. 1600 TC Golfs, 1, 2 and 3. Oh, this is just too close to call.
How close is this racing? First, second, third, fourth. Within a second, this has been 9 laps of racing, and they are right there. A drag race to the line. Class C, Charles Smallberger, Andre Needham, Stuart Mack, and Giles Darragh in fourth place.
Class B was all about Quinton Thompson, Adrian Dalton, Peter Thompson, Andrea Bates, and Chad Bartram.
Stu Mack, we're down here in the pits talking about Class C in the Goldwagen Challenge. Pretty much a perfect day from you.
Pretty much perfect day, yeah. The move from B to C was almost a forced one by myself, and then Eleanor gave me a car to drive and said go and drive it. I drove it for the first time Thursday off the transporter, and the car's just brilliant. It was quick out the box on Friday, and then we kept it from there. Charles kept me honest the whole race. He led for a couple of laps as well, and we changed places a few times, but I got the good luck for the day.
Championship points open up quite nicely. Thompson takes the lead overall ahead of Eddie Rodriguez. Charles Smallberger now moving up to third place in the championship in his Class C golf. A big thanks to Goldwagen for all this action from round 3 of the Goldwagen Challenge.